Hey, this is Sean Gay from Gull Lake High School. I'm taking a computer science and software engineering program as part of the career and technical education at Gull Lake High School. I'm making a vlog to show you how to make a virtual machine. So first, press that Windows key on your keyboard, go to search, type SYS, it'll pull up your system information. In your processor that I have 6 cores and it is an Intel 12th Gen i5 and my RAM is 32 gigabytes. Next, we gotta go to components, storage, drives. We have 953 gigabytes on this computer, but right now our free space is 834 gigabytes. So now I'm going to show you my file management. So first you go into File Explorer, or because I have it on my main computer right there, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to File Explorer. Then we'll go to Desktop, and we have my name. So in this thing, I have OBS screenshots and virtual machines. OBS is the video I'm recording this on. Screenshots is the screenshots I've made of the host PC hardware and the hardware for the configuration and stuff. And the virtual machines, I have the Linux Vlog OS, which I will be using for this video. We have a backup folder for in case we need to make a backup if updating or something like that. An ISO folder in which we have our ISO to make the virtual machine, and an OS folder for which the virtual machine files will go into. Now we're going to go into how to install an operating system. So you can download the operating system hypervisor from the VMware website. If you scroll down, it'll go to Workstation Player with 17 for Windows, and it'll make you download it because it's a non-commercial use and you can use it for free. So to get your ISO for the virtual machine, you go to the Linux website. And it has many different types of ISO. For the purposes of this video, we're going to use Ubuntu. But all these different things can make virtual machines, like Kali, Netrunner, Body, Bunsen Labs, Ubuntu, and Manjaro, so on and so forth. So we're going to go to install our operating system. So now I'll open up VMware Player as it is right on my workstation tab, like little Windows thing right here. We're going to create a new virtual machine. So we're going to look through our files, and as I'm already in my Vlog OS, I will click that, but for the purposes of this video, I will go to VMs, Linux Vlog OS, ISO, and into my Ubuntu. And then I'll click Open, and then I'll click Next. So I have to put in my easy install information. My full name is Sean. My username will also be Sean. And for the purposes of this video, my password will be something easy like 1212. So now, you gotta figure out where you're gonna put your stuff. So you gotta go to Documents, Virtual Machines, and it wants me just to put it in the Ubuntu, but I'm gonna go to Mine. I'm gonna go to VirtualBox. I'm gonna click it in there. So next, and the capacity of this will be 60 gigabytes, as that is a small portion of my hard drive. So I can split it up and put different things on it over time, so it's split into multiple files. Now I have to customize the hardware. On the hardware, we will have 8 gigabytes of storage, or 8,192 millibytes. And we're going to go back into that, and we're going to have actually 3 processors because our computer has a total of 6. So we're going to use half of those processors to go towards the virtual machine to help everything out. So we're going to show all USB devices so we can see if we have a mouse or a headphone or whatever. And we're going to go to auto detect on this, auto detect on display, and that's all you need for the settings. Now we're going to finish setting up this virtual machine. Now, as you'll see, it's loading, and while it's loading, I will show you some interesting things about the host and the hypervisor and stuff like that. So a hypervisor is a little mini computer inside your computer. So you can use it for speed, efficiency, flexibility, and portability, because you can use hypervisors anywhere and you can transfer them and stuff like that. So the portability, like it says, you can put it you can do that. And I heard a noise from my Ubuntu, so I'm going to check it out. It is installing right now. So there's new things on this Ubuntu 18, like new features, more software, music, photos. It has Google or Firefox or whatever browser you would like to use, and you can access anything. And then that's the help and support page. So it's still downloading, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the host operating system. So the host operating system is your normal computer. Say you run on Windows or a Mac, or even if you run a Linux computer itself. So let's see, like it says, Apple as an operating system, and you can want to install a window on it. So first you got to download a virtual machine maker, like VMware or anything else, and you can use that to make a virtual machine on your computer. The virtual machine is still installing, so now we're going to talk about the guest operating system. So, as we already talked about the host, I'm going to skip over that and talk to you about the guest. The guest operating system is like a different version of OS virtualization. So it's like put it in a virtual machine, or it's partitioned in a system. So say you have like a computer with like a hard drive, but you want Windows and Mac on it. So you can flip from Windows to Mac at the start of your boot up sequence, and it'll show you that like you can sign into Mac or Windows. What computer would you like to sign into? And they would both be on the same computer. It would just say that you had two different ones. Alright, now we'll wait for Linux to finish installing, and I'll get back to you. Alrighty, Linux is finishing up its setup, and just in a second it'll pop up my name, install some program files, and show me how to get into Linux. So right now it's installing all the VM tools you need for the Linux to work. And I'll come back to you when this is totally finished installing. Alrighty, my Linux is completely installed, and I will open myself. Type in my password, which is 1212. And with any luck, we now have Linux. It's going to tell us what's new in Ubuntu, has different stuff, new patches, and that's going to be if you want to help. And now we're ready to go. This is Linux, and I'm going to show you how to full screen it, and then this video will be done. And shut it down. So that's how you full screen it normally, but if you want to completely full screen it and act like you're in all the way in Linux, enter full screen mode, and then if you press keys like Windows key, it'll open up your Linux menu, so on and so forth. If you want to get out of this, you can press that, or even if you want to make it small, you can press this, go back to your host computer. I'm going to get out of this. And now to shut down the computer, Control-Alt-T, type in sudo shutdown now. It's going to ask you for your super user password, which for me is 1212. And now the VMware should be shutting down. It's going to tell me I have some removable devices, but that's connected to my host computer, so I don't need to worry about that. And that's all. I have now successfully made a virtual machine.